This podcast contains adult language and crude humor. Listener discretion is advised.
Have you ever wondered what the internet search history of the people of Azeroth would actually look like? Like, for example, I imagine Gazlo's would probably be something like how to be too nice, or like how to be nice to people and still make money. Thrall would probably be all over Ancestry.com and shit, because, you know, orcs are like that, and Thrall, you know, he's got a unique look at that. And then, like, let's think about Nathanos. Like, I can only imagine he would search something like, what does it mean if my girlfriend calls me ugly? Or, why does coming hurt? I don't know. These things that I think about, man. Like, what the fuck is going on in my head?
Thrall's balls! They're everywhere!
Thrall's Balls, the World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Boomy Nation, Craig, Gershom, Johnny Tips, and Wooly. Oh, what's up, swingaz? From the tbhq in the grizzly lands of Wisconsin, welcome to Thrall's Balls, episode number 174. I'm Wooly, the king of bullshit and chill as fuck Tauren feral druid. Here alongside me is Gershom, the sassy-ass troll beastmastery hunter. Johnny Tips, and of course the man, the myth, the bearded warlock himself, Boomy Nation, are both out today. I don't remember why, but it was both good reasons. Anyway, it's just me and Gershom holding down the fort today. Hi, how you doing?
They left me alone with this freak. Hey, Wooly, you know how like on your ID, how it says if you're like an organ donor or like something like that? Like they should have a separate box for like, do not go through like my phone. Like if I'm found dead, God forbid, like in public or something, or like a DNR, you know, situation, like do not resuscitate me. Like also don't open the notes app in my phone, because you're probably going to see something that says like Nathanos searching up discounted fucking cup chairs or something.
It was
you know,
literally
like,
in
but it's
the
like
notepad
why is this on this guy's phone? Like that's the last thing some poor like paramedic thinks of you, is this poor fucking guy.
Why does it hurt to come?
Paramedics like, sounds like a personal problem, and Nathanos is like, hey, maybe there's some straps on the coke chair that need some adjusting.
Oh, the cuck chair.
Or maybe Sylvana shouldn't be such a bitch with the CNBT. I don't know.
All right, you know
What's up, swingers? What's up, swingers?
You know damn well the jailer found a way to shrink himself down or bring her up that he got it in at least once. Like, come on. Right?
I mean, yeah, I guess he would have had to.
Maybe that's why Bane was just sitting on his ass all haunted in Oribos. Maybe they made him watch. Or maybe they made him participate.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out which like portal he's staring at. And I think it's the Night Fae portal. He's just staring off into like druidy goodness. Just because that was such a horrible thing to see when they were all in the maw, when they were stuck in the maw together.
See, okay. Because
remember Jailer like throws them off the cliff, and everyone's like,
and he
no,
damn near dies.
And so like he was probably like, because of course he was falling in slow motion, because you always fall in slow motion.
Only the cool people,
duh.
Of course.
Well, Bane, so super slow, he's slowly falling past the jailer's dick, and it was really slow. So like it probably looked like it was really big.
It had to.
Do you want to talk about what's in your head all the time, or?
I mean, it's a scary place in there. But no, I gotta make it known.
There's a reason you and I have been able to create this kind of absolutely top shelf content for like 3 years.
We are easily the most disgusting podcast. Like,
it's amazing.
The most disgusting World of Warcraft podcast that references a pair of testicles for its name. So I gotta say though, I will make fun of Bane sitting on his ass doing nothing forever. But I want to make it clear, I fucking love Bane. I think he's awesome, and I think the Horde should bring back War Chief and bring it to Bane, because he'll know how to fuck you up when need be, but he always remembers that his first priority is peace and the well-being of his people, even though he basically at first told the Volpera to fuck off because he judged them too soon. But whatever, you live and learn. And then he went on a racist killing spree against centaurs. Okay, so you know what? Maybe Bane's got some problems.
That. I did love that storyline before. I mean, it was like the lead up to what happened in Shadowlands, but the storyline in BFA was hands down like of a handful, and by handful I mean 5 storylines. I'd probably have to say that was one of mine. The top 5, top 5 World of Warcraft storylines, I think, was like the Bane turning, and then you go and Rexxar is on that island, remember? And then I know this is like where my lore gets like real fucked up, but like there's the circle, and then Zelling is part of it, and then she decides she hates Bane, and that was one of the best storylines probably of all time.
I hadn't done the quest line that shows you how Zelling became there and like who he was in the first place. So like I see that cinematic, and she's like, "Didn't you fuck up, Zelling?" And then he gets shot, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, you're no, I've done that as a perpetual catcher-upper for like most of the game until 2020. Yeah, no, I totally understand what you mean. You're like, what the actual fuck? Like, when I remember when I was doing catch-up for Pandaria, I was like, why is this fucking guy that was like in Warcraft 3, but he was like a noodle vendor? Like, was this expansion with this guy in it? Like, I did not understand it, so I totally get it.
And you know, that's...
Oh my god, that's so funny though. I wasn't laughing at you, it's just funny.
Oh, I know. This also sort of applies to the character that dies during the Undermine campaign, that I'm not going to say their name in case anybody's trying to play spoiler free.
We're not going to say it because people say it in 2 totally different ways, and I wasn't one of the people saying it the wrong way. I'm just kidding, I was saying it the wrong way. I know who you're talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, like, I had not heard of that character before, and then boom.
Me neither.
Although it's kind of different than with the like fawn-looking motherfucker from Ardenweald, where they introduced him and then killed him. That's different. But it's not the first time that they've killed off a character that I never encountered before. Well, I did encounter him before, I just didn't remember him.
But with that in mind, with the Ardenweald guy, I know the guy you're talking about too, there was that really sad cinematic where the Winter Queen shows up and she's like, all your efforts are bullshit, this isn't gonna work, blah blah blah, and she like lets the whole forest die anyways and stuff. Yeah, that guy did, like, he was like, okay, here's like this new kind of ancillary character, it's kind of cool, part of the campaign, you know, and stuff. But at least he was in a cinematic. This guy, okay, we're talking about Reznik, right? Renzik?
Damn it.
Whatever.
We weren't going to say his
name.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not beeping it.
Did I say it? I'm not sure. Maybe not. One of those two was it. But anyways, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I agree, because he ends up being someone that you really root for. Probably as much as I rooted for that guy in the Ardenweald one.
And like
no.
I mean, we've already said his name, so fuck it. But like literally the only other place I've seen him in the game is the Rogue campaign from Legion.
Yeah, and I don't play my Rogue anymore.
I need to.
She's still actually, I don't think I've gotten her to 80. I think she's still back at 70.
I don't feel the need to play a rogue when I'm playing a feral druid, because it's like stealth, bleed, dead. It's the same kind of thing. So how should we do this? Do you want to talk about the patch before we do the drink of the week or after?
We could do the drink of the week because I'm drinking it now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay,
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's time for the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah!
It's the mixed drink of the week, and before we get into it, I want to remind everybody to please only partake of the mixed drink of the week, or any alcohol for that matter, if you're of legal age or legal whatever to do so. Furthermore, we're not responsible for any stupid shit that may befall you as a result of your own stupid shit. So, we have been going through bosses at the end of raids from vanilla up to current day. We are in the Cataclysm era right now, and I'm going to repeat something I said a few weeks ago. Starting with, I believe it was either Pandaland. I think it was Pandaland with Miss Pandaria. We're only doing the last boss of the first raid and the last boss of the end raid, because otherwise we'll be in this series for like 70-something weeks. Anyway, in Cataclysm, we are looking at Bastion of Twilight Heroic. And you're like, wait a minute, you already did Bastion of Twilight with Cho'Gall. Yes, we did. But Heroic only, which at the time was sort of a big deal, is Lady Sinestra. So, Gershom is bringing us the second take of Sinestra. We had her as part of the Draconic Leaders portion, and I didn't go look at what was in there. So I am starting from first. Not fresh, first. So, you're drinking it right now, you say, huh?
I am drinking it right now. I played the first.
Can I have a hint?
Yes, it's a mixed drink. How about that?
Okay. Well. Bringing the music down a little bit, because that's real loud. Let's see. Things about Sinestra. She's a dragon. She's corrupted by the void, but her model's still kind of yellow. So I'm thinking there's hints of yellow, black, and purple in it. Purple. Let's see. What's your style? Shit. I don't know.
You might actually steer away from my style.
Okay, so it's absinthe.
I know that's a vague hint, but
you know what? Sinestra's fucking more powerful than lore gives her credit for. So I'm thinking what you have done is you have dropped 2 shots of absinthe into lemonade and then mixed a little bit of blueberry pucker in it to represent the void. Yeah, that's my guess.
Good God, man, as if the absinthe wouldn't take me to the void. No, also I have kids in my presence. No. So that was your guess? Because it was really far off.
I had meant, yeah, that's my guess, but I had meant for the record American absinthe, which had its balls cut off in order to be sold here.
Okay, so more just the flavor, the herbal experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Oh, that sucks that no one else is here to guess. So I guess I just have to tell you what it is. So, okay, so the reason I said this is different is it doesn't contain any of my trademark vodka, first of all. And then also it just has some different flavors. So this is a little specific. There is a drink, these Monacos that are real popular. They're like in a can. There's a Purple Crush version, which is basically like a bourbon, like a whiskey, Coke almost type tasting thing. And it's purplish, but it's a little brownish, a little golden too. Like, so you were nailing on that golden, almost sort of aura of Sinestra. So yes, so you're gonna pour this into like half of whatever vessel you're using. I use like a 8-ounce cup, and a little bit of ice because I like ice. So half your cup is gonna be this Purple Crush drink, and then separately you're going to add grape juice, Malort, and Jagermeister to taste. Yeah. So listen. So
how are you gonna say
to taste?
When it's that nastiness?
I know, to nastiness. Okay. So listen. So then you're gonna pour it in to this Purple Crush. And so basically the grape juice is sweet. The Malort is bitter, and the Jagermeister, obvious on this show, is kind of just stands in for undeath and grossness, voidness, bitter, sweet, nastiness, and then Purple Crush, because also the void is like crushing her, destroying the eggs, destroying the future of the black dragon flight. So a little bit symbolic, little weird, and you can send me off. It's okay, but you can send me off.
Okay. Well, over the lips, through the gums, look out.
CRAIIIG!
Yeah.
Poor CRAIIIG. All right.
He'll be on when he can. He's got a busy life.
I meant that he had to hear me drink that awful thing.
Okay.
Well, good thing it's almost over.
So, just to recap, just name the ingredients for me.
Purple Crush Monaco, Grape Juice, Malort, and Jagermeister.
So, the Grape Juice, Malort, and Jagermeister, are those all a shot each, or is it just a mixture? Oh, no, that's right. You said to taste.
Well, so it's like, half of it was Purple Crush, and then the additional half would be those things.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Whatever size cup you're using.
All right, well, that was the Sinestra from the heroic Bastion of Twilight. She was not in normal. At the time, there was only normal or heroic. I don't remember if Cataclysm still differentiated between 10 and 25. But
it did.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I don't know what on Cataclassic would be different from what was on the live one. Next week, I am up, and I gotta be honest, I'm not really terribly jazzed about this one, because who gives a shit? It's Alakir from Throne of the Four Winds. I don't really know what I'm gonna bring to the table on that, but I'll tell you what I am really excited for is
That is a fun dungeon, though, to be fair. Sorry.
It's the raid, though.
Alakir.
Wait.
Isn't the Throne of the Four...
Now I'm second guessing myself.
No, I think you're right doing...
Anyway, if I'm wrong, I'll adjust it. But what I am excited for is the next time I'm up next week, take a guess who I have, because I looked at our spreadsheet and counted ahead. So here's a hint. It'll be Panda Land.
It's the Shaw of Anger.
That's
not a raid boss. The Shaw of Pride. No.
It's Garrosh.
What?
I cannot wait to make the Garrosh drink.
No, you would. You're like looking forward to this the way I did the Lich King. The way I did the Arthas Lich King.
Garrosh's story is such a tragedy.
A month later, you're like a kid, like Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. It's the week before Christmas Eve week. What?
It's like, well, think about, okay, I like Garrosh as a character. Terrible person. But know. His story is such a tragedy, because think about it like this. Arthas had been...
He's so well written. I'm sorry. He's like, you hate him. That's well written character.
Yeah. Arthas...
You're meant to feel torn. You're meant to feel the feelings when you're dealing with these characters. You're not supposed to be like, oh, forgettable character. Ugh. That's not a sign of good story writing. A sign of good story writing is these characters are unforgettable and they touch us. It doesn't mean we identify with them, but we definitely identify with them.
Right.
Too,
so
right?
Where I was going with that is, like, I don't think people like Garrosh's story anywhere near as much as Arthas's, because it was more compact and it was kind of in the background. He never really had the spotlight except for Cataclysm, by which time he was already a racist jerk. He was a bit of a jerk in Wrath of the Lich King, but no more than you would expect any orc to be toward the Alliance. However, the parallel I draw between Arthas and Garrosh is Arthas was corrupted by a combination of his own passion, anger, and desperation to rid the world of what he viewed as corruption, and in the process became corrupted. Garrosh was corrupted by his passion and anger with the help of the Shah. So where fucking Arthas had the undead influence, Garrosh had the old god Yasharj influence, and I just think that is incredible.
Well,
I don't like the way he died because it was, well, I do, but it was sort of, it should have been more front and center, in my opinion.
okay, I love all of what you just said, but the one thing that I think that bears a little bit of like a discussion is when you said that Garrosh was more under the influence of like the old gods. I also feel like Garrosh lusted more over the power that he was promised sort of recklessly.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, yes, what Arthas did to his people was reckless as well, but in his head, it was like his motives were good. It was just poorly executed and poorly informed. Like he was executing his mission based on fake news, essentially. Or Garrosh, there was no news. There was no nothing. There was just what Garrosh wanted. So I feel like, I wonder like if that sort of drive to achieve the thing, like maybe the old gods stepped in and said, okay, we're going to start corrupting these mortals because the scourge and that sort of influence, like the scourge and the fell together, like wasn't enough. And so the old gods stepped in. You know what I mean? Because like you get like Ner'zhul, you get Arthas, you get these Lich Kings, and they always kind of end up being these quivering sort of, I'm like and like they always end up sort of like powerless, where I feel like Garrosh was like a very powerful, corrupted. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense? I'm sorry.
It does. I'm not sure I agree with the thought that and this might not be what you meant, but the thought of the old gods just being like, all right, let's corrupt them. The other shit's not doing enough. Because the point of the old gods was to like be littered through the dark beyond to fuck up any world soul they can come across. So I think they were
probably
already doing it,
trying to like outshine the motives of like the Lich King trope. No, I get it. That makes sense.
And the funny thing about Garrosh's war chief is he desperately wanted the fourth war to happen, but it didn't happen until after he was dead, and that's fucking hilarious to me. Anyway, let's talk more about Garrosh in this Undermine episode of Thrall's Balls. What do you think of, because we didn't have an episode last week. We did have an episode after the patch came, but not once the season started. So what have you been doing in Undermine? What kind of fun have you been having? What do you like? What do you not like?
Well, it's a lot, obviously. Gosh, it's almost like where to start. I think I want to start really fast with some systems I like. I'm going to say I like the new login screens. I've been hearing people talk about this on and off here and there. I like them. As of now, as of 2 weeks into the patch, those have weather and they also have time of day. Dude. So as a recap, you can pick, I think at this time, 3 or 4 different campsites for your MySpace top 4. And which I know, Wooly, I know you're itching to say something, but also just super excited that they're finally have introduced the idea of you can have multiple campsites now. So I believe back when the War Within first dropped, a lot of people it was jarring, I will admit, that characters were just sort of everywhere. They weren't sorted by realm anymore. They weren't by level. They weren't alphabetical. They were literally just on this random list of characters. So now you can have multiple campsites and you can name them. Right now I have one for my banks and one for my MySpace top 4.
I didn't know you could name the campsites.
Yeah, so like I have one that says banks and one that says it doesn't say MySpace top 4. It says like mains or something boring. I don't know. Yeah,
what I was gonna
it doesn't say MySpace though.
Is I was gonna recap which ones we have now because you sort of touched on it. We have that default one. We have one set in the Onaran Plains. We have one that a lot of people really like, set in the Galagio, so in the casino in Undermine, and it looks pretty neat. And another one that's like some sort of Smuggler's Cove, rogue-looking cave, docks, dead mines kind of thing. And that's kind of the one I want, but I'm waiting for one that's sort of Durotar themed. That's what I want.
I love that you mentioned that because that's in my notes as well. And I know that I had said that about player housing too. Like, oh, this kind of like, oh, we only get like an Orgrimmar looking sort of player housing type design. But then like we have nothing very, although is there one that's really super Alliance related?
No, not really.
I mean,
I would say the default
so
looks more Alliance than it does Horde, but it's also just a forest.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be cool. I mean, I'm sure it's in the works. It would make sense.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of these. Like trading post things for them. They've given themselves a creative outlet to work in, and I like that.
Yeah, and like I said, like just to reiterate, I really like that one of the first times I logged back in after setting my mains in the Onaran Plains, I logged back in early in the morning and saw that it was literally dawn. Like the whole sky was pink with the wispy clouds and the fire was burning. And I don't know,
That's
like
so
it was
cool.
very cool to like log in and be like, this feels like very homey. Like it felt nice. Like I'd have to say one of the first times I felt that was when I first started playing the game. I would log into Mulgore and see it as like dawn early in the morning when I couldn't sleep, you know, and just hearing like the horns and the music. Like I don't know, it felt like it was touching on that feeling that hasn't been conjured up in a while. So I thought that was kind of neat. So definitely loving the login screens. Did you have any other like experience with that, Willie, or anything else that?
Nope, I should really be waiting for my turn anyway. You continue.
Oh no, you're good. It's just I have too much to say. I'm probably going to ask you a lot of what you're saying. So I guess I would say after that I obviously jumped into playing the games and was notified immediately that oh, you have new talent. So I was like, really? That's weird, I guess. And so I go look, and so my middle, so my beast, my pack leading hunter hero tree had been completely reset. And I know this isn't the place to talk about like mins and maxings and stuff like that. Like I don't really play all that, but it was reworked pretty significantly. I mean, like basically something called like Howl of the Pack Leader. And there's just basically a lot more like dire beasts. So like kill command gives you a dire beast now, and then supporting talents as you move downward on the tree give you more. So it feels like they're kind of nailing in a little bit, like locking in on the AoE issue that Beastmaster hunters have always sort of complained about. I'm not having as much trouble, and I'm enjoying my new build. I really don't have any complaints. So not that I'm like I said, like I'm not doing like the most with it, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah. So
yeah, when I logged in and saw the talents were reset, I literally just went to Wowhead and recopied my AoE / Mythic Plus, Raid Single Target, Delve, and I just took those. I was like, screw it. Someone else already did the work. I'll just build on that.
There you go. Yeah. I feel like that's what I did too. Well, I mean, and you end up getting sort of everything at the end. So like I said, like in my activity that I choose to do, which is pretty much like delves, single target, kind of open world content stuff, I'm not having a lot of issues. So I think it's like a fun build so far. And so then what else? Like a lot. So
well, speaking of delves, have you done Side Street yet?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought it was fun. I did it once. I'll admit I was high as hell when I did it. So that was interesting. I think overall, like, and I am going to jump into like just how much I love Undermine totally. Like right now,
Oh,
I'm just
so
kind of
cool.
going over the systems.
This is an awesome fucking
I
patch.
did like it. I did like the kind of platforming concept. I felt a bit more challenged, which was nice because I'm like, okay, new season. Like, yeah, not only is everything a little harder, but there's like a new thing to do. So I did think that was fun. Oh, and that is the one where I was running around on the different levels of it, and I saw an elite guy, a name guy, and I seen him like 3 floors down from me, and I'm like, oh, screw that guy. Fuck off. I don't need all that. And I just go running around. It was the guy. It was the boss. It was the final boss. And I didn't realize that was at the end because I was running around being kind of locked in on like the platform game, like just running around finding all the treasures and stuff. And I was like doing the most to avoid this guy. I probably avoided him like 6 or 8 times. And then I'm like, I look at my goals and I'm like, oh no, I need to kill him. So
Did you do the Delve's lead-in quest where the Underpin steals Brand's hat?
yeah. Did you? And where Brand does the don't stand in those webs, champion.
And you can just spam it. I love that.
I did it like 18 times. And Johnny Awesome is there. He's like, can you take over? I'm like, yes, Johnny Awesome, of course we can.
Throws his fucking potions in the middle of poison, and then I go get the potions. Don't stand there!
I had literally, so when I talked to Dave recently, like a few weeks ago, we were joking around about that specific thing where I was like, yeah, I wouldn't stand there, except that's where you threw my potions to like go get it. So help me out, my guy. And so I got this DM. I was at work and he goes, have you done the thing yet where you're Brand in the Delve? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And I'm DMing him back and I'm like, I'm at work. I don't know what's happening. So finally I went and did it. And I was utterly so pleased to have this experience as Brand. Like, I gotta say this is in my notes too. Like, you're hitting all my talking points, Willie, like organically. Nice. That shit was so good, so funny.
Like,
oh, did you? So what hats has he worn for you? So for me, he's worn the red goggles and the Robin Hood hat with the red feather. I'm like, yes.
I haven't actually paid attention to it.
What?
Well, okay, I've mainly been able to play on my lunch break at work lately, so my time is limited. So, like, I have like an hour, so I'm like, okay, I can fit in 2, maybe 3 delves. And so I just boom, boom, boom. And let me tell you, I don't want to take away from what you're talking about, but my laptop is not up to snuff for WoW. And, riding around Undermine on the drive on a laptop that can't quite keep up, using my cell phone as internet, drive doesn't work for me very well at that point. Like, at home it's fine, but damn. That was what I was gonna say.
That sucks. And so I'm up against that, and then Boomy just has no computer, I guess, anyways, or something. Poor guy.
Are you doing all right with Drive, or are you running into a bunch of shit, same as me?
So, okay, so I guess now that I've touched, I guess, sort of on the systems, I will definitely go into the actual Undermine now. You talking about wanting some whimsy? Y'all got some fucking whimsy, am I right? Because this is cool. This is cool.
I love
and
this
if we
patch,
had
dude.
recorded last week, I might not have even been saying the same thing. I don't know how, but this shit has grown on me so hardcore, from the point where I'm like, I don't like goblins. I don't do Kazan. I've never gotten a goblin out of Kazan. I hate it there. It's great. It's fine. It's really fun once you get used to things the way they are. I gotta admit, it's a little different. It took me some getting used to.
You should level a goblin hunter, so you can have a big gaudy gun.
I have his low Gobita.
Oh yeah,
I have
that's
the name
right.
Saved.
That's right.
Yes.
Just giving
That's
it
why
to
we
a
keep
little
joking
Gobita.
about her. I know. So yes, so yes, I am a fan of of the zone of the music. Obviously, I know everyone's talking about the music. How cool is that? And then even at first, I gotta say, it's growing on me to the point where, like, even at first, I'm like, well, let me go topside for a little bit and go do some world quests in the Isle of Dorn. I was like, pokey as fuck up here. I want to go back down to Undermine and run around on my drive, which brings us zooming back to your point, Wooly. Drive is fun. I hated it at first. And for any longtime listeners of the show, they might remember that I hated Dragonflying at first too, for similar reasons. Kind of felt like it was hard for me to get control of. It was hard for me to see for, you know, my own kind of limited vision reasons. I'm still not a huge fan of Drive on the ground. I understand that it's a little bit like dragon flying, but I also understand why folks were saying like it's different, how it's not like the same action bar. Like it should like give you like your dragon flying action bar or something similar, like a Drive action bar that's not where like right now it's like a vehicle, it's like a separate thing you're in, so it's a little bit hard to get in and out. And then I'm kind of like, why can't you back up as easily? The steering, like I got used to the drifting a little. I have better luck doing it with my mouse, even just pushing two buttons down to like move forward and then sort of dragging and drifting that way. That's been my more successful way. But overall, like I'm still just not that good at it. It gets going really fast. It's fun. It's fun to get around, and I didn't like not try it, but also sometimes like, especially if I'm trying to narrow in on something, I'll just ride like regular mount.
Yeah. I feel like with Drive, the problem I'm running into is there is a lot in Undermine. Like there's a lot. And it's good to stay on the roads and follow the road to where you want to go. It's a hell of a lot easier than cutting through yards. How fucking ever. I don't know where these roads go. I have to constantly keep looking. And that little green arrow above my head because they want me to go do a job, that's throwing me off. Looking at my mini map, seeing my little gold arrow, sometimes it's not there. God damn it.
You ever notice that you're not on the map either?
No.
When you open your map, like you're just not on it anymore.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's making it even harder because I know exactly where you're going. Where by the time you look, you're way far past your point and the roads are all narrow and it's hard to turn around type.
And suddenly there's a hostile hobgoblin whacking you with his goblin wiener. No, his well, there's a joke here. There's got to be. His
hobgobnobber.
His hobgock.
Hobgobnobber.
Like Hobgock. That's Thrall's Balls canon now. All hobgoblins have a hobgock. It's their swinging, massive, stiff, fucking hobgoblin dick. Anyway.
Is that why I kept overshooting in that fucking golf mini game? Because I was using that as my club.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be why. Damn.
So, like, that's my issue with it, is I have trouble navigating. Especially, add on to it, and during raid, raid night, before zoning in, I was able to just drive around just fine. But what I think would be good is if somebody could make a weak aura that kind of, or even just an add-on, a separate add-on that acts like a GPS. So like you click where you want to go on the map and it'll route you through the actual road and show you where to go. That would be helpful, I think. Like it'll put arrows or a line or something in front of you
or something.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or maybe if Blizzard put that in as a core feature.
Because there are like a lot of sharp turns, but a lot of times when I was trying to force myself to get used to it, I was like, okay, eventually I'm gonna end up on the main road, and then it's kind of hard to miss. But yeah, overall it's like, it's a lot of work.
Because I gotta wonder if part of what they're doing by having this is testing to see if it's something people would like in the overworld. And
I think it might work better in bigger zones
Yes.
that are less dense than
Yes.
this one. But if you're gonna look for problems, you might want to look for them in a problem-laden area. Like
Yep.
they might be like, okay, here's everything
Absolutely.
that's wrong because it's obvious. Like, but if this was like Azure Span and I could just go tearing across the glaciers at like 500% flight speed, but on the ground, fuck yeah, brother, let's go.
yeah, I don't think they would be able to add it to existing ground mounts like they did with skywriting, because, like, you can't exactly drift around a corner on a fucking turtle. Like, unless he pulls his legs into his shell and you just slide, that'd be funny to see.
Have you seen that gangster turtle that's in Undermine? Oh my god, what's
There's
his
a gangster
fucking name?
turtle? I did not.
Yes. Oh, and I deleted him out of my notes because I'm like, this guy, no one's gonna know who I'm talking about. His name is like Jagermeister Mort.
There's gonna be a shell
And he's
back
like a
piece.
fucking Zadie ass. No, dude, he's this Zadie ass Jewish grandpa. Hey, what do you think you're doing driving around here all? God, I cannot remember this man and how but he's a Tortolin. When I first encountered this man did not make sense. I was like, why the fuck is a Tortolin down here? And then later we end up in the Kaja Coast back in Zoldazar. So I'm like, okay, Tortolin's here, I guess. But yeah, there's some old man named Jagermeister Mort down there.
Damn.
And he's like a race car driver. I'm gonna look this guy up, I promise.
I'm gonna put this
my God.
out into the world real quick before anyone tries to cancel us. That wasn't an anti-Semitic remark, all right? Gershom has a Jewish background, so there. Right? Am I right?
What? Oh, because I said Jewish.
Yeah,
Okay.
the little
Yes,
Jewish grandpa.
Yes.
I just don't want anyone to
Yeah.
think that
Fair enough. Sorry.
that we do not love our Jewish brethren, because we do.
Well, so that guy. So, oh my gosh, and then
There's just so much to love about this patch.
there's just so much, and then like I'm still just getting really good gear replacements. Obviously, like I got a weapon pretty quickly. I think I might have already upgraded it once, but like the upgrades are coming pretty quick. So like I jumped into that system almost immediately, and I'm pretty happy with the drops. I think when the patch dropped, I was like 619. I'm like 624 now or something. So like whatever, just already kind of crawling up. And then getting currency built back up for delves. I kind of forgot how you start with like one key.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of have to go and get
And you have to
Radiant Echoes
unlock
and then
being
farm
able
your
to-
shards and then farm your undercoin and then unlock and then do the quests and then yeah. So it takes a while before that system feeds itself a little bit. Probably a few weeks, I guess, to put in the currency to start kind of moshing it around and doing, getting the cycle going. But just been doing that, just making sure to do every time I see anything where I could get like a coffer key shard or whatever, just so doing whatever delves I can whenever I can. And then we joked around already about being Brand. That was funny with Brand's hat.
Yeah.
That's going to be like a fun thing. And then I got another 25, got the ringing deep. So I got 2 25s. And I got 23 with the Arathi. So I got their ground mount links, which I love a lot. I actually probably need to go tame some of those somewhere. And then the flying mount is kind of cool. It's one of those like kind of mythic plus looking guys. You like the swirlies. This one looks like the treasure wraith. He's like a shadowy, voidy looking
like
kind of twisty
the
guy where you
elemental-y
ride the
thing.
surfboard, you're on his back. Yeah, he's like a booberry sort of looking guy.
I still say, all these weeks and weeks and weeks upon weeks later, I want that mount in mac and cheese. Mac and cheese-ulence. Come back, man.
Yes, right. We had an episode, Mac and Cheeseulence.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Yeah, so like, and then shoot, what else? Just some casual shit. I was cleaning out my bank a little bit that I hadn't really had time to do that. And I found this currency. I was like, what is this? And I looked it up and it turns out I had enough for like 15 transmogs from this guy. in Dornagal. So yeah, so that was neat. So Gershom's looking mighty handsome. And then I did the Trader's Post, and I like this one. I know we're going to talk a little bit about it in the news, but I like it. So overall, I think the springtimey, kind of looking forward to mogging a lot of this on my Void Elf, like the kind of sparkly purple, pastel-y lavender. I think that's going to look pretty neat. So that was what I did, I guess, and some of my impressions. I know we're going to talk more, but yeah, just, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I want to throw in that pile is about the raid. I fucking love this raid. I couldn't stay alive for any of the I stayed alive for one fight, but I'm chalking that up to two different things. One, I am adjusting to playing melee DPS instead of ranged DPS. I haven't been melee since Nyalotha. It's been a while. No, not true. I was a warrior in Nathria, but whatever. It's been a while. So I kept getting waffle stomped while trying to learn the fights is the other side of that coin. Because here's the thing. Yes, I watched the videos because I wanted to be prepared, but also part of making that rundown on the bosses, which I made for a mini episode last week, was seeing those fights in action. I'm going to interrupt myself real quick and say, my bad, I didn't realize that the giant gorilla isn't a robot. He's just wearing armor. My bad. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I'm the kind of guy that if I watch the videos that tells me some stuff, if I have the fight explained before we go into it that tells me more, I have to do it. I have to actually do the fight to learn the fight. I'm just, or whatever need be, like new task at work. I can read the manual, doesn't tell me much. I can watch the video, doesn't tell me enough. I have to get in there and do the thing. But we went in there, and that raid is so much fun. The bosses are ridiculous in some cases. We got a giant fucking T-Rex trying to eat you while a giant fucking gorilla wants to shove you up his ass or something. And then they want to shove each other up each other's asses. And it's a fun fight. The raid is a lot of fun. We didn't get to Galley on the first night. We got up to the second to last boss. It's this ogre-looking motherfucker named Meeksi. He wants to prevent you from going into Gallywix's bedroom and disrupting, I don't know, maybe he's trying to fuck his anime body pillow or something, but we're not allowed in there. So you gotta fight Meeksi to get in there. We're still fighting him. I don't remember exactly. I was tired. But that was all I wanted to add, is I fucking agree with everything you've said about the patch so far. I love this patch. It's a lot of fun. D.R.I.V.E could be tuned a little bit, but overall, it's great. The whimsy of the goblin stuff will not have very long legs. It'll get old after a couple months, but that's okay, because by then it'll be time to move on to the next patch, which speculation is it's to do with ethereals. Just saying.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
So when I was first playing the patch, I was kind of like, okay, what does this remind me of? Because it's like very goblin-y, and it's this and it's that, and I was like, something was itching, like the back of my brain. I was like, what is this? And then I put it in the Discord. Don't forget, you can go join it, thrallsballs.com. I did it. I plugged it. I did it. Fucking Roger Rabbit, Joe.
I didn't.
That's what I'm saying. And you were like, yes. But I was like, yeah, it's Roger Rabbit. So to honor this in Discord, I changed my name to Dredgica Ratchet. It's supposed to sound like true. Jessica Rabbit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. So. That is a very specific reference that younger Gen Xers and older millennials can reach and shake hands on. Like, younger millennials, like, what the fuck is that? Older Gen Xers, why are you dealing with that? Like, that's kind of an overlap, I think. Anyway, should we go into the news now?
Yeah, we can do the news.
News time.
Time for WoW News, motherfuckers.
All right, so first up, some of this is going to be the news we were going to cover last week, so I may Gonna be a couple things there. Anyway, first thing I'm gonna point out is the biggest elephant in the room right now, and that is the race to world first. So it's off to the races. As of when I added this to the notes, like, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes ago, there are 6 guilds tied for first place. That is Instant Dollars of US Melganis, Liquid of US Illidan, Echo EU Taran Mill, Method EU Twisting Nether, Fat Shark Yes EU Kazakh, and I don't know how to say this, Moisted on EU Storm Reaver. That said, being this early in the race to world first, this means pretty much fucking nothing. Instant Dollars is technically the first one to have gotten where they are now, and they have made a strong showing like this in the past. But what always happens is, because the bigger esports organizations like Echo, your Method, Liquid, they have deeper resources available, so they end up always pulling ahead and partly because they pace themselves, because they can. They go and they do splits, they farm gear, and then they blast it. These smaller guilds, I think they just try to blast it as quick as they can, except without doing that groundwork, they're not going to get to Gallywix as fast as these other guilds. And they can't necessarily afford to do that either, because with these giant guilds, they have the gold available to buy BOEs off the auction house. They have the time to do this because it's literally their job. It's not... I'm not saying anything about Instant Dollars or Fat Shark Yes or whatever. Like, for all I know, maybe they are making a go of it and they're made of streamers. I'm not sure. But it's definitely that Liquid, Echo, all them, they have more time to, because it's their job. You know, like being esport, whatever. They have deeper resources. They're at an advantage. And also, I'm just going to say go Liquid because US, even though Illidan is the single most toxic server in the North American region, but that is to be expected. Anyway, keep an eye on WoW progress.
They are their stars.
We are our scars. So, next piece of news is 11.1.5 is on the PTR now. And the speculation is that it's going to be coming before May, because a splash screen was found on the PTR that mentions Children's Week, and that sort of strongly implies a timeline. However, keep in mind, it's PTR, it could get delayed, maybe they have to redo the splash screen, dumber things have happened. However, 11.1.7 is on the Blizzard internal distribution thing, so they're trying to keep ahead of things. They're not going to delay it if they can help it, so I'm thinking we'll see it short-ish. I don't know. Moving on, D.R.I.V.E, which we were just talking about, it turns out Wowhead put out an article detailing how to, if you have trouble with accessibility, or if your laptop is low powered, like, well, not laptop, if your computer is low powered like my laptop is, my desktop can handle it, but my laptop can't. There are ways you can build your D.R.I.V.E mount to have a little bit better go of it. You could just use your regular ground mount, and feel free to do that, but you can't really boost with your regular ground mount. You can't do the surge pricing event. Well, maybe not as well. I'm not sure. But Wowhead put an article out of what to put on your vehicle to create it the slowest you can to counteract the problems that you might come across. And there was a separate Wowhead article that said to use 22H slicks on your wheels. I don't remember how to get that, but it makes your drift control a lot more responsive, so you can drift around tighter turns more. You're going to sacrifice some top speed, but...
So you were asking, and I wish I had the specific answer when you asked me, but now I have it when you asked, like, what what like my biggest like issue was with it. The way I see things is, my thing is that like I was shooting forward too fast, and then it wasn't so much the drift, but it was like if you drift off the road, getting stuck in like a pile of boxes or something.
Yeah.
And then trying to dismount really fast, like I said, like reflecting back on people saying like that it should just revert to like your regular mount hotkeys and not be like its own vehicle, because then you're stuck kind of grappling from the mouse, in my case, clicking the arrow, because you're like stuck in this box and you're spinning around in circles, then that will make you motion sick. So it wasn't even really the shooting forward or the drifting, but it's like getting stuck and stuff was a big problem for me. I don't know.
Yeah, there were a couple times that I just said screw it, dismounted, went back to the road on foot, and mounted back up. But yeah, there are things in there that will make that a little easier if people out there are having trouble. And then speaking of drive, this is really cool. Y'all may have already seen this already. But the YouTube channel Big Time, Blizzard reached out to them and challenged them to make the Goblin Hot Rod in real life. The video is on the official World of Warcraft YouTube channel. There's a link to it below, but it looks so cool. It looks like they drove it straight out of the game. It kind of reminds me of the chopper builds that they made back in the day, and I actually was lucky enough to see those in person. They had them displayed at BlizzCon last year, which, fuck yeah. Whoa, it's 2025, not last year, the year before. But they were so cool, and I would have loved to see this, this hot rod. It's like, you gotta go find it. Like, it has actual flames, an authentically goblin look to it, and just for, you know, spectacle, they had them wear makeup to look like goblins, but quite frankly, I thought they looked more like some of the shittier looking Tolkien-esque orcs, but that's just me. But either way, it's so cool. Go watch it.
I do like the design of the goblin cars, but it's that's the part that was kind of steampunky to me, was like the rockets on the side of them.
Yeah.
And the whole like "hello governor" type like weird like grills they had on them. Like, I don't know, like they're definitely cool. They're definitely the theme. Like, I think you said it has like, what'd you say? Like, it has sort of short legs. You don't think it's gonna last forever, but right now it does feel very cool. It's very fun.
The whimsy of the patch, you mean?
Yeah.
There are a couple things on this list that will no longer be relevant by the time this goes live. So, skipping to no need to say much about this, but yes, there will be a campaign skip for alts in Undermine. So don't worry about that. Okay, the Meeksi mounts. There is now available on the Blizzard shop a marvelous Meeksi pack. There are 5 of those Meeksi mounts. They're just like, basically, if you're unsure what this looks like, picture a fat but Asian raccoon with different colors.
They're like red pandas.
Yeah. So these are different colors of a red panda mount. And there's 5 of them in this pack for $65 US. And they come in either black and gray, dark blue and light blue, red and gold, go Gryffindor, red and green, Merry Christmas y'all, and purple and black, which is my style, but I'm not buying this. It's also not really a mount that I would use a lot. But there is another one of these that is not another one. The one that's red and green is called the Meeksi T-Tuft. That one you can purchase as a standalone mount for $25 US. Excuse me. If you buy it, the price of the pack is going to adjust to account for that. Like I said, personally, this really is not for me, but these, excuse me, hiccups. These little guys are very cute mounts. I like them. I just wouldn't use one. Partly because I'm a druid. I just, turn into an owl and perch on shit. The March trading post has been live now for 9 days as of recording, and there's a lot of springtimey stuff on it. There are these butterfly wing back attachments that come in either red and black, or this pearlescent looking gold, purple, teal kind of thing. There's like butterfly-ish themed warglaives, a bow, one-handed sword, and there's like a light color violet vigilante's deep mask. So if you want a full look at the list, go check out the vendor. That mask, though, somebody made a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in-game cosplay using it. I don't remember where I saw that. I think it might have been on Wowhead, but I didn't put it in the news. So yeah, it's not all springtimey butterfly stuff. And the Traveler's Log will reward ornaments of the Pearlescent Monarch. That is a 3-piece set that is shoulders, head, and waist. It matches some of the other things on the post. I'm not personally interested, but I do have a bone to pick with the whole concept of like 3 or so piece sets. And it's because if you get somebody who's hyper picky about their transmog, like I haven't mentioned that, but I do get very picky. I don't like saying, oh, it's close enough. And what happens a lot is these pieces won't match very well with existing transmog pieces. I don't know if this will be the case with this one as well. But when that happens, it ends up feeling not very useful. Like, yes, it allows you to get very creative, but I do sometimes end up feeling like I have to force the mog because the shades just won't line up, and I don't like doing that. I feel like if you're gonna do something like this, make it a full set, not just 3 pieces, and then the people who want to mix and match have more things they can mix and match with. I don't know, maybe that's not a popular theory, but I don't know. I mentioned earlier 11.1.7 is on an internal-only testing server. I may have been incorrect about that. I don't know. Unless I read... No, 11.2 has an encrypted build on an internal-only testing server. So that means they are definitely trying to keep up the pace that they established with Dragonflight, which I like. It makes a lot of sense, too, because with the timeline they put out, they have 11.2 listed for summer 2025. Anyway, just for now, let's have fun with Undermine. Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, this is where I had an idea for a game, but I think it would be more fun with more people. A little teaser here. It's basically categories. So we would cycle through each of us. We would name a category, cycle through all of us hosting that day to name things in that category. When someone gets stuck, they get a point. When you get 2 points, you're out, and you go until one of you remains. Like, for example...
You can't do that with 2 people.
Not really, no. For example, like, if a category has tons of options, like... Oh, that's a note, not an example. So, like, if a category would have a ton of options, like mounts, you would need to have to get that name fully correct. Like, if somebody wants to reference the tiger from Zul'Gurub, saying the tiger from Zul'Gurub doesn't count, saying Zulian tiger doesn't count, it would have to be like Swift Zulian tiger. And the reason for that is because that is a huge topic, and otherwise it could go on forever and ever and ever. So we'll probably play that next time. It sounds fun, doesn't it?
So it has to be really specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we have reached the end of the road here for the day. Do you have any final thoughts, Gershom?
Final thoughts? Hear me out, y'all. Monty fucking Gazlo. Jesus, this man.
He can get it.
Go play that campaign. He can get it. He can have it. He will have it. King all day. Does he have a wife? I feel bad. I'm sorry.
He's married to his
Mrs.
work.
Gazlo. He's married to his
I
work,
don't know.
right?
Maybe he does.
Well, anyways, hear me out, Monty Gazlo. Maybe just go take a bath first. Do it, yeah. The man has heart. He's got heart. He's small but mighty. I love him. Go play the campaign. He's gonna surprise you. I feel like I was pleasantly surprised. I think I see like a nice future for the goblins. I'm really enjoying the patch, and yeah, I think it's fun. I'm enjoying the new characters. I'm enjoying the direction of the story, and I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah.
My final thought is, somewhere in my weird mind, the concept of the hobgoblin, and by extension the Hobgock, got mixed up with the troll from Harry Potter that's like whacking at them in the bathroom. So I'm thinking with the Hobgock, swish and flick, and his wang starts flying up in the air and whacks him in the face. That's my final thought.
I think there's a special place for people like you.
The fucking asylum?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have those anymore. Anyway.
No, you have to edit. Please don't take him. Hold on.
No, they're not gonna take me. They already kicked me out 6 times. I'm kidding. Anyway,
they'll have to come through me because you have to edit. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Hell yeah. Also, my kid would be sad. We are gonna head on out of here now. Feel free to follow us on the social media places. I am at Wooly08, 2 O's, 2 L's, and a Y on Instagram and Blue Sky. Gershom is at Hunter Gershom on Twitter and Blue Sky, and that is GERSHOM, Hunter Gershom, all one word. And at Hunter Gershom, same thing, just with 2 R's on Instagram. Boomy is at Boomy Nation, BOOMY, Nation like country, all one word, on Twitter and YouTube. Johnny is Johnny.tips, JOHNNIE on Discord, and at Johnny Tips, that's with a P, you pervert, on Instagram. And then, of course, our extremely part-time 5th co-host,
Craig!
is on Twitter at CRAIIIG Addict, all one word. And then, of course, the show is at Thrall's Balls Pod on Twitter. You can feel free to email us with any feedback or questions, or even, like, I don't know, a picture of your animal. Yes, please email us a picture of your pets. I want to see your dog, your bird, your cats, anything. So send that to thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. You can also leave us feedback on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even the reviews channel on our Discord, which you can find by going to thrallsballs.com. It'll take you to our link tree. Anyway, bye. We love you. Be good.
Bye, swingers.